looking back on that experience with Serene and that journey, um, how do you see it now in the light of the past few months and how things went? How do you look back upon that experience now?
Well, I mean, for me, it's been at least 5 or 6 months, right? Since close to since we're all meeting together. And like Ryan said, the foundation, the basis of our spiritual practice, our Sunday ritual just kind of dissolves. And for 2 years, just about, it was solid. Every single Sunday, it was the three of us going out there. We knew what we wanted to accomplish. Almost every single week we accomplished it. And that kind of, for me personally, like instilled this spiritual, not even spiritual, but just this faith in life, in myself, in the group, the group structure, life as a whole. For me, it was like, all right, so I had the ayahuasca experience. I get off of all opiates and I needed something more. So that was what we found was the Sunday ritual, and it was working so well. And I think it's a huge learning experience, because what we did was we tried to add someone in that we didn't know whatsoever. We had we had met with Serene a few times, but we didn't, we're trying to bring someone in that we have no background, any life experience with whatsoever, which I think, rarely can work. But I'm not here to complain or say that, I don't think that we like necessarily screwed up or like ruined. I think what we had is still attainable to get back to, but it's just, I think we kind of, rushed things and put things together a little too quickly. But it's still, for me, was, a huge learning experience, and I'm really grateful for everything. But
I just want to say, we tried to recreate what we had for someone else, which I realized looking back on it was impossible, because we didn't go into this, what me, Tom, and Rory created, with this idea of, we're going to use this to treat addiction. But that is how I framed it, or it was framed when Serene came to us, and that's kind of what it was. But it never was that from the beginning. With me, Rory, and Tom, it was simply a way to connect more deeply with each other, to ourselves, and to a spiritual sense of
I think
spirituality in life.
And I think because of that, there was like this genuineness to it that was just there from the beginning, because we weren't gathering for any purpose other than, let's just go out and try to just be in a, like you'll see it on the documentary, like just be there together quietly and together,
the promoting positive effects on our well-being, and the effects on helping Rory stay clean, and me helping me with depression. That was just a byproduct of what we were doing. It wasn't the goal. But when we started developing this with Serene, there was this goal of, okay, we want to help you get off opiates. And I think it was kind of doomed from the start, looking back, because there's this other aspect of it where it's like the community aspect is hugely important. When me, Rory, and Tom started doing it, we didn't have any end goal. It was just, we're going to do this as long as it's helpful for us. But with Serene, we all knew that at a certain point it's going to end. We're not going to do this forever. And I think for her, that kind of sets her up for failure, because she knows, even if I have this transformative experience, I'm still going to have to go back on my own in my own life and, not have these supports. So I think, looking back on it, there's a lot that we learned from it, but overall, I don't regret it, even though, it ended up, kind of leading to the end of the most important spiritual practice I've ever had. It's still, the lessons learned are important enough that was worth it.
I mean, and I guess to speak on that a little bit, it's just if you'll let me, is if it really was that important and that, you know, transformative, and then there has to be a way to get back to it. I think if it was real and it was really, and I know it was, I mean, I got off of opiates and I stayed clean for longer, much longer than I ever had previously, ever. So I think now it's just like, all right, that experience happened. How do we get back there without, you know, kind of faking it? Because we want it to be real. And so that's the tough question, but I think that's the next, you know, step for me, and I think for Ryan as well.